The stories you're about to see are real. The rewards up to $5 million are real. This is Augusta Crime Stoppers, where you stay anonymous. The criminals don't. And now, this Crime Stoppers special report.
The Richmond County Sheriff's Office has announced that counterfeit currency is beginning to turn up at banks, bars, flea markets, restaurants, and gas stations. Typically, the more fast-paced the business, the greater likelihood of counterfeit cash. One tipster called in and said, if you're going to a place where you think they're going to hand you counterfeit cash, have them mark the cash they're giving you back. In other words, when they give you change back, if it's 20s or 50s or hundreds, have them mark it with their pen and let them let you see it under their special light. That way, their pen will tell you if they're giving you counterfeit, and their special light will show you if they're giving you counterfeit, because counterfeit is becoming so common that it's just everywhere. If you're caught in possession of counterfeit and you cooperate with the police, they'll probably give you the benefit of the doubt. But if you're caught with counterfeit and you try to pass it without telling anybody, you could be arrested and your money will definitely be taken from you. If you know who or where this counterfeit money may be coming from, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tip to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and get paid in real money.
And now, this Crime Stoppers special report.
Crime Stopper Jim Full reports the following 86 Holiday Rambler Illuminite XL internet classified ad is definitely a scam. As we read it, you'll see the military does not use Gmail. They use MIL or mail.mil. The message would not show the base message center. And the things about eBay, well, he knows that's all wrong. The scenario is they call and either ask for money to be wired to them or find some way to trick you into giving them your account information so they can drain the entire account. Here's how the email read when they were sent to Crime Stopper Jim Foyle. Hi again. Like I've told you in my first email, I'm in the Air Force, and recently I was transferred to the Air Force Base from Kansas City, Missouri. However, this is not a problem because I'm a member of the eBay Buyer Protection Program since 2008, and I left the motorhome at their warehouse from Kansas City, Missouri. So now I have a contract for this deal with them. It can be delivered directly to your home address in a few days. The delivered fees are already paid by me. I can assure you that the motorhome is in perfect working condition and waiting to be shipped anywhere along with all the documents. If you're really interested to buy the motorhome, please include in the next email your full name, your full shipping address, and your phone number. I will send your info to the eBay representatives and they will register you as a potential buyer, and after that, they will contact you with all the details that you need to complete this deal. Thank you and stay safe, Lieutenant Emmanuel Fuller, sent from Air Force Network Whiteman Center. Now, Mr. Foyle is an expert webmaster. He handles some of the biggest web work in the entire world. So Mr. Foyle has checked this deal out, and he has found several things wrong with it. Basically, they're going to call you. Somehow they're going to get your account information, and somehow you're going to be giving them money. They're either going to drain your entire account after they say, well, what account number do we deposit this money into? Once they have that account number, they're going to turn it around and take all your money. Whenever you see these suspicious ads, send them to Crime Stoppers at tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, and we'll put them on TV so others don't get ripped off. Or even on some ads, people go to the site to sell the item to the person running the ad, and 2 individuals just got killed not too long ago when they were trying to sell something through an online ad like this. If you see or know of any scams, online, offline, or any type of crime anywhere, especially violent crime, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and get paid. This Crime Stopper report was sent in by Sergeant Michael Shane McDaniel of the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, Internal Affairs, PIO. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office and the Criminal Investigation Division are currently investigating a shooting that occurred at a stop sign in the area of North Leg Road and Wilds Road. Preliminary investigation revealed that a 17-year-old male and a 16-year-old male were together inside a vehicle stopped at a stop sign when an unknown black male approached the vehicle and fired several shots inside their vehicle. The 16-year-old sustained a gunshot wound to his arm. The 16-year-old male was transported to Georgia Regents University for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. Sheriff's investigators are speaking with the 17-year-old male in an attempt to gather suspect information. At this time, there is no suspect information to provide. If you know who or where this shooter may be, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and get paid. Crime Stopper Sergeant Kay Baldini of the Atlanta Police Department sent this Crime Stopper tip in. Atlanta police investigators and Crime Stoppers Greater Atlanta seek public help in locating a murder suspect. Crime Stoppers Atlanta is offering an up to $2,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and indictment of Joshua Hendricks, who is wanted for a homicide that occurred at 1080 West Beach Street on August 31st, 2014. The Sergeant Baldini and several others think that Joshua Hendricks has fled to the Augusta, Georgia area because we are the fastest, easiest way to get to a state line. Any information can be submitted anonymously to the Crime Stoppers Atlanta tip line at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and get paid.
And now, this Crime Stoppers special report.
Violent criminals are released or seldom pursued, even though judges have issued warrants, but those in jail for nonviolent offenses where there is no victim or complainant are seldom released. Do they really let violent felons out to rape and terrify the population to jack up taxes? Or does it just look that way? A jury recently reached a guilty verdict for a black male who is charged with the rape and burglary of a 16-year-old girl. Darrell Williams was sentenced to 20 years behind bars on the burglary charge and life without parole on the rape count, according to a Burke County court official. In October of 2011, Williams was charged with both rape and burglary after he allegedly raped a 16-year-old girl and then led deputies on a chase that spanned 2 counties. Later that month, Williams tried to escape from the Burke County jail. Williams has a lengthy, violent criminal background. Williams has been violently assaulting civilians and pretty much getting away with it, and been released from Georgia prisons repeatedly since 1983. Do you think government officials are releasing known violent, record-setting violent criminals from jail to jack up taxes, or does it just look that way?
Go to our Augusta Facebook page, AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, and let us know what you think. Does the government really have our best interest at heart, or are we just the golden goose that lays the golden egg?
And now this Crime Stoppers special report. Police brutality is a very serious problem. It's so serious, in fact, that we should always believe an accusation, even if there's no evidence to back it up, right? This stone-stupid predator dirtbag was in jail charged with rape. I guess he's really talented at punching himself in the face. Nothing better to do. And then he lied about stalking the woman and raping her. He lied about a detective beating him. Imagine that. Well, it worked in Ferguson. Why not in lockup? See the logic here? What a moron. He has no clue that cameras watch those cells with good reasons, and he's one of them. Instead of the get-out-of-jail-free card he wanted, this genius was charged with attempted filing a false report. That's on top of the charges of stalking and first-degree sexual assault that put him there in the first place. Backfired, huh, doofus? Oh well, more charges mean a longer stay, and maybe some nice guy in the clink will return the favor you did to that poor woman. The moral is, if you're going to fake a police beating, you might want to check for cameras first. I'm Dave Michaels. And now, this Crime Stoppers special report.
Timing of ISIS threats just in time to scare the United States into refunding the Department of Homeland Security. Coincidence? Does anyone else see the timing of ISIS threatening to attack malls and asking for lone wolves to rise up and attack anybody they can, anywhere they can, just as Department of Homeland Services needs their funding renewed? Odd. Will Department of Homeland Security allow terrorists to strike us just to save their funding? The terror group Islamic State has released a video calling for attacks on shopping malls in the U.S. In the video, a male speaking English calls for assaults on shopping malls. The video mentions the Mall of America in Minnesota and the West Edmonton Mall in Alberta, Canada. Both malls say they've stepped up security in response to the threats. Other malls were threatened, and the Islamic State is calling for lone wolves to attack almost anywhere at almost any time. So unless you or someone else stops them, no location is safe. The Islamic State terrorists were behind the 2013 attack at the Westgate Mall in Nairobi, Kenya that left more than 60 people dead. If you hear of any plots to hurt anyone by anybody, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and get paid.
And now, this Crime Stoppers special report.
In an upcoming vote to refund the Department of Homeland Security, we want to just let you know that most of the Department of Homeland Security could be replaced and save billions by the 35-year-old Crime Stoppers network. That would make the U.S. security system worldwide at a percentage of the current cost. Google Crime Stoppers and see. We can throw a ton of our own money in on this, too. Crime Stoppers is the oldest, largest, most successful police-run crime-stopping tip line the world has ever known. That stops and has stopped more crime than everything DHS has ever done put together. Let your congressmen and Senate and all your representatives know you want to be represented by your local hometown Crime Stoppers that you've known all of your life, because they can be trusted, and we have already turned in fantastic results, whereas Department of Homeland Security appears to simply be a tool for corrupt politicians to further erode your rights, control, and threaten the very people who pay all the bills for Department of Homeland Security. Richmond County Sheriff's deputies are looking for the unknown white male you see on your screen. He's approximately 40 to 50 years of age, 5'7 to 5'8 in height, 220 pounds or so. He has brown hair and brown eyes. On Friday, February 13th, 2015, the white male that you see on your screen reportedly passed a stolen check at the CVS located at 2703 Washington Road. There were 2 other stolen checks passed the same day at Pet Boys located at 2728 Washington Road, and the checks had been previously stolen in a burglary. If you think you know who this unknown white male burglary suspect may be, please contact investigator Rolf Kramer or any property crimes investigator at the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744. where you remain anonymous and get paid. Aiken County Sheriff's deputies report a man was beaten and suspects are sought in a robbery attempt. Aiken County Sheriff's deputies need your help finding 2 black males in camo who attempted to carjack a Beach Island man who was getting in his vehicle on Foreman Floyd Circle about 5 a.m. Tuesday morning, February 10th. The 2 black male suspects approached the victim as he was trying to get to work in his car and demanded everything in his pockets. When the victim refused, they beat him so badly he has been hospitalized. Police continue to search for the 2 assailants who were described as black males dressed in camouflage with dark winter-type hats. An investigation revealed the 2 black males left in a vehicle. If you know who or where these attempted carjackers may be, please call the Aiken County Sheriff's Office at 803-648-6811, Crime Stoppers in South Carolina at 888-CRIME-SC, or in Georgia at 800-222-TIPS, where you remain anonymous and get paid.
Augusta Crime Stoppers is offering a cash reward for information leading to the black male seen pacing back and forth on the corner of 4th and Green just before he tried to mug a lady in her car with a knife. If you think you know who this mugger is, please call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office at 706-821-1080 or AugustaCrimeStoppers.org at 706-722-1010 for a cash reward.
The black male you see on your screen entered the Gold's Gym at 101 Corporate Parkway in Aiken on February 3rd, stole the victim's keys, went to the victim's vehicle, and stole his wallet, according to an Aiken County Department of Public Safety report. A short time later, a credit card belonging to the victim was used in an Augusta store. So this thief is very likely right here in Augusta. If you think you know who or where the black male you see on your screen may be, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and get paid.
And now, this Crime Stoppers special report.
Crime Stopper Melissa Melton reports, why do we live in a world where your smart TV spies on me? It's true. If you bought a new Samsung internet-connected smart TV and you pull out the privacy information, it will warn you that anything you say near your television set will be recorded and sent to a third party. Careful what you say around your TV, it may be listening and blabbing. A single sentence buried in a dense privacy policy for Samsung's internet-connected smart TV advises users that its nifty voice command feature might capture more than just your request to play the latest episode of your favorite movies. I guess it seems all those murmurings about how we're living in an electronic concentration camp with invisible bars on the windows aren't so crazy after all. And people are definitely learning to love their servitude.
The amount of data that this thing collects is staggering.
Just say what you want.
Find us action adventure.
It logs where, when, how, and for how long you use the TV. It sets tracking cookies and beacons designed to detect when you have viewed particular content or a particular email message. It records the apps you use, the websites you visit, and how you interact with content. And it, of course, has a built-in camera and microphone with facial and voice recognition for your convenience. But Samsung's new global privacy policy for its line of smart TVs comes with a rather ominous warning. Please be aware that if your spoken words include personal or other sensitive information, that information will be among the data that's captured and transmitted to a third party. In other words, don't say anything private in front of your television.
They've been watching it. I can feel it.
Now, writing about the privacy policy for Salon.com, Michael Price writes, I do not doubt that this data is important to providing customized content and convenience, but it's also incredibly personal, constitutionally protected information that should not be for sale to advertisers and should require a warrant for law enforcement to access. There's no need for the FBI to bug your living room. You'll do it yourself. In 2 years' time, the stuff that this Samsung TV can do will be old news.
What's wrong?
Let's say you're having a fight with your spouse in front of your television. Well, that camera and microphone that's been surreptitiously recording all of your private conversations and scanning your body language can now send that information to third-party advertisers so that they can air a perfectly timed commercial suggesting some SSRIs. For them, it's all about targeted advertising. But for the surveillance apparatus, it's about complete information control.
Its primary intention is to transmit data. It receives data from smart appliances, which will be in your home, so that they can, then immediately push back to you what they feel that you need in that moment for advertising purposes. It's not giving us more control. It's actually giving the control to big corporations, to utilities, and to governments who will be sharing in this data that is basically being extracted from the home in a very, very high level of detail.
All of this spying is documented. It's been going on for decades, and now people are just buying into the idea that they need all of these new smart appliances to save the earth and save on energy bills, when in reality, these devices are ushering in a new era of total surveillance bondage. Lining up to buy their crap is helping to construct the Panopticon.
What's wrong?
I need something stronger.
Take 4 red capsules. In 10 minutes, take 2 more. Help is on the way.
Oh, and by the way, the television also comes complete with a camera that will facially recognize you in lieu of a manual password. But I'm sure it only does that when you specifically ask it to, right? It also comes with a gesture control, which learns to recognize your gestures to control the television as well. I wonder what happens when you give it the middle finger. In Britain, it's probably an antisocial thought crime to flip off your own TV. And remember, you consented to having this spy device in your home, and when you go out in public, these spy devices are everywhere. But how many people would buy it if even reading the fine print and the privacy policy? Who wants to give away this much personal information every time they watch TV? Oh wait, I guess it's the non-existence of privacy is a super trend now, right?
The spy technology is not limited to smart TVs. Your computer has been spying on you for years. Here's tips to keep spies out of your computer.
Surveillance techniques revealed that the FBI can covertly turn on your computer's webcam and watch you while you're sitting at your computer doing God knows what. They can watch you while you're watching porn, for all you know. Everyone's worst nightmare. And they can do this without triggering a warning light, so you'll have no way of knowing that they are literally watching you. The report confirms a terrifying fact that many people have always thought was possible. For years, people have been covering up their computer camera sensors with Post-it notes or duct tape, effectively blocking the government's hypothetical view of you at your computer. But now that it's been confirmed, and we know the FBI can commandeer our cameras, it might be time to make that makeshift camera cover a little more official. And of course, where there's a need, there is consumerism. Many companies are now manufacturing computer camera covers. Some are just stickers, like the Electronic Frontier Foundation's. Since the EFF is all about defending people's rights in the digital world, their camera cover stickers with their logo on it are both functional and promotional. Then there are some fancier ones, little plastic things where you can manipulate a slider back and forth. This allows you to use your webcam when you want to, like when you're Skyping with mom, and to block it when you don't want anyone to see you, like when you're watching porn. Of course, there's a Hello Kitty webcam cover. There's a Republican elephant webcam cover for surveillance-hating conservatives. There's a skull and crossbones webcam cover for pirates, I guess. There's a hand-crocheted ghost webcam cover with little googly eyes on it. I hope the FBI can't take over those eyes, too. Seriously, people are actually making all of these camera covers because the FBI might actually watch you through your computer camera without you knowing it. How sorry is that state of affairs? I mean, some of them are cute and funny, but stop and think about it. These covers are true testament to the fact that we are living in a full-on surveillance world right now, and it's not going to go away. So we might as well all go get ourselves camera covers now, or else risk having the FBI know what our O faces look like. Tonight, let's talk about that by following me on Twitter @TheResident.
Cell phones and smartphones have been spying on you for years. In fact, for the last 10 years, it's been an FCC regulation that all smartphones have GPS. So you have it whether you know it or not. And when you do that selfie for your friends, you may be sharing it with people that are not exactly your friends. Even the nude selfies. It looks like 1984 just came a little late.
1984 is, I believe, a quite terrifying masterpiece. So terrifying, in fact, I don't think I should like to read another like it.
I'm not absolutely dissatisfied with it. I think it is a good idea, but the execution would have been better if I had not been under the influence of TB when I wrote it.
You once claimed that you have an ability to face unpleasant facts. Is that what you demonstrated in 1984 by drawing an accurate portrait of the future?
I think that allowing for the book being, after all, a parody, something like 1984 could actually happen. This is the direction the world is going in at the present time. In our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph and self-abasement. The sex instinct will be eradicated. We shall abolish the orgasm. There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. But always there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. The moral to be drawn from this dangerous nightmare situation is a simple one. Don't let it happen. It depends on you.
Augusta Crime Stoppers is brought to you by WBEK Channel 16 and Augusta Crime Stoppers. You too could be a Crime Stopper. If you have any information on any crime, call our tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS. Augusta Crime Stoppers is a production of Michaels Media. Augusta Crime Stoppers, where you stay anonymous. The criminals don't.